Hey guys, Trouble8385 here with the pickups video. It's been a week and a half since my last one. I know I said there'll be no more pickup videos in the near future, and sure enough, there's a pickup video. Now, ironically enough, that first day of the week, my wife gives me a $10 gift card to Toys R Us. And the first thing I got, as you can see from the background, is new Super Mario Brothers Wii poster, which will go in the game room, which did finally order the drywall, and I will be starting work on that this week. I'll put videos up as we work. I'll put the first video up after I clean it out so you see the space before I start working it, and then I'll just take videos of as we change it, so you can see how much it's changed. And once it's done, I'll basically do all my videos from there from now on instead of right here, because there's a lot more light over there than there is here. Anyway, the second thing I picked up from Toys R Us was a Yoshi action figure. Now this is the big one. Toys R Us also had the small ones with the keychain, and then the small minifigures also, and they had a lot more variety of characters for those in these. This one, there's only 5 kinds: Luigi, Mario, Toad, Yoshi, and Donkey Kong. The other thing I got this week, that this is video game related, but it's not. This is basically towards 8-bit Goomba. If you didn't watch his 3-part video where it shows how to make those 8 sprite little figures that look kind of like this, 8-bit sprite guys, you should go check that video out. Anyway, I saw that video. My wife saw that video too, actually, and she looked at me. She goes, "You want to make those, don't you?" And I go, "Uh-huh." And so we went to the store, and sure enough, I picked up 11,000 of the little bitty beads, guys. Look at these little guys here, 11,000 of them. I get to have the fun of separating all these colors. That's gonna be a long day. Anyway, I'm gonna do it though, to do it. And of course, as I showed you, these are the little ironing paper for it. And lastly, the one thing I had trouble finding for this, not finding things for it, but finding the one I wanted, was these little pads to put them on. The one in the back, the big one, the green one, is the one I actually wanted. I was looked out at the hobby stores, Walmart, Target, everywhere in town, and no one had this individually, because I was gonna just buy a couple of those. But anyway, so this is only $7. I picked all these up. Can't wait to do those, put those up in the game room, but that'd probably wait till after the game room's walls, because there's really one wall I have to work on. The rest are all like this wall, brick wall here. So when that's done, then I can start making those and figure out how I'm going to do the room. But anyway, enough talk about the room for now. Let's talk about something that isn't there yet. So I went garage selling this week on Friday, and it didn't start off very well. But the first garage sale I went to, I got one thing, and that was a plug and play for Frogger. Kind of surprised that this was actually released by Majesco, even though Konami's name's on it. Majesco made this. Anyway, and a couple of garage sales didn't have anything, and then I went to the fourth garage sale I went to. They had a little Gigapets thing, where you just take care of your little pet thing for 25 cents, and then the rest of the day it was like nothing, dead. You have those days where you go garage sale and there's absolutely nothing. Anyway, the last garage sale we went to of the day is only a block away from my house. And there's 2 teenage kids live there, and there was a box in the corner. My wife saw it, and they had all kinds of video games in it, and they were really cheap. The Gameboy Advance games were only 25 cents. The PlayStation 1 was 25. The PlayStation 2 and Xbox were all $1. So I just picked the whole box up. I didn't even bother looking. I just picked the whole thing up, paid for it. Anyway, so the first thing I got, of course, was I got a bunch of Game Boy Advance games. And the first one I got was The Hobbit, which the last time I played The Hobbit, I believe, was on the Macintosh my cousin had way back in the, was it, want to say, mid-80s, late 80s when that came out? Anyway, The Hobbit. Rocket Power Beach Bandits. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. And everybody's favorite, Dynasty Warriors Advance. The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. SpongeBob SquarePants, Super Sponge. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. Yu-Gi-Oh! The Eternal Duelist Soul. That's a tongue twister. And lastly, a game I never knew was out for the Game Boy Advance, Gremlins Stripe vs. Gizmo. So I picked all those up, and then the one PlayStation 1 game I picked up was NHL Hockey Face-Off 2000. Now, if you watch Crow's recent videos, One of them, he talks about how he never watched hockey, but he played hockey and liked the hockey. Ironically enough, during 1998 to 2000, the only video games I played were sports games, all 4 sport games: NASCAR, baseball, well, I guess 5: NASCAR, baseball, basketball, hockey. And I never knew hockey, but I played the game and actually loved the fighting, and the scoring could be a pain sometimes. But anyway, I loved hockey, and for those 2 years, that's all I played, and then I just quit playing, except for Madden. I think I quit playing all the other ones. But anyway, hockey. And then I got some Xbox games, and these are all complete. Aragon, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, Spider-Man the movie, which I also own for my PlayStation 2, and lastly, Brute Force, and they're all for $1. And then I got a bunch of PlayStation 2 games. There's 2 that were not in any cases, and the first one was Champions, is that Norath? And then Tony Hawk's Project 8. It's actually, if you can see, it's got some pretty big scratches in it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them out or not, but I'm going to try. And then I picked up, now all these PlayStation 2 games and cases don't have any instruction manuals, just the game in the case. Celebrity Deathmatch, Tony Hawk's Underground 2, World Tour, X-Men: The Next Dimension. Now this case shows Super Dragon Ball Z, but if you actually open it up on the inside, it's Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tensei, that's how I say it. Came out the year before, I believe. And then Grand Theft Auto 3, which I love this game. I beat this game when it originally came out. Hulk, to fulfill my comic book character fetish. They never really made a great Hulk game. I wish they'd really come out with a really good Hulk game. Never been able to capture that character totally correct in video games. And then Calamari Damacy, which I already own this game, but this for $1 it goes in the trade pile. And of course I may have a lot more depending on since my mom is closing her pawn shop this Saturday. My wife ironically went there today with her parents because they want to get stuff there. So she's closing down that Saturday, and she's inviting me up there this Sunday, and to get whatever video games they have left, so forth and so on. So, and I've already got my NES from her. She gave me that, and the Super NES, and the Genesis 2. So if I get anything that's great, I'm not going to lift, as they say, a gifted horse in the mouth. And if I get something great, if I don't, I don't. I mean, I know she still has stuff there. My wife says she still has PlayStation 3 games and PlayStation 1 Slim and PlayStation 1s in the back. So if I do get a lot, what I plan on doing is, obviously if I have a lot, I'll put doubles. A lot of doubles, I'll put some up for trade. I'm going to save some probably for something special, probably if I get it for my 50 subscriber special. I'm only at 39 right now, but whenever I get to 50, I do appreciate all my subscribers on my channel that you guys watch and everything. But the reason why I talk about my wife going to my mom's today, she went to my mom's today, and they're cleaning up the pawn shop. They're getting ready to trade over to the new owners, and they got to get ready for inventory and all that stuff. And she was looking in the back, and they had this there, an original Xbox. Now, just like my Sega Genesis 2, my mom said did not work, she said the Xbox didn't work. And somehow she gave it to my wife. Say, here, give this to my son to play with, whatever. Just give it to him. It doesn't work. So I brought it home. I plugged it in. The main menu came up. And I never had original Xbox. So I put a disc in, and I never realized how bad the loading times were until I put the disc in, and it loaded up, and it worked for a little bit. And then I got cannot read disc. It's either dirty or there's scratch or whatever. It doesn't work. Can't read disc. And every game I put in, I have played for a little bit, different spots, and did it. Except for baseball, I got to the 5th inning. I didn't do it. All-Star Baseball 2005. I didn't have anything happen. So I'm not sure whether it's the Xbox is really finicky about the disc being like nothing on the back of them, like scratches or so forth. I am going to clean all the discs again just to be safe, or whether it's maybe it's the disc drive that's failing. I don't know, but it's free. It doesn't matter. Got nothing to complain about there. One last thing I have to show you, and I picked this up last week and forgot to show my video. I picked up just a little cabinet thing for my game room for $5 to put up for any loose games I might get, for so forth and so on. And that would be just this little case right here. I'll turn it sideways for you. Just a little case right here. It was just $5, you know. So I could put my little games in here, you know, on the shelf, whatever. Any loose games I get or whatever. Small collection. But anyway. So that's all I have for my pickups this week. Now, I know I said I was going to do my arcade life for Mario Brothers, but researching Mario Brothers, you could not do Mario Brothers without doing Donkey Kong first, so I am going to do Donkey Kong first. And there's so much information on Donkey Kong. That might even be a two-parter. It's just unbelievable how much stuff's out there on it. And how many myths that are on Donkey Kong. I mean, the truth is, back then the video games, they didn't keep track of stuff very much, like the start dates. Like Pac-Man, we celebrated the 30th anniversary. That's Namco's when it happened. No one actually remembers when Pac-Man actually originally started. But anyway, so I'll be doing that and hopefully posting that video here shortly. So I'll talk to you guys when I put my next video.